If you are a sales leader, an executive, or a hiring manager right now, let me just give you a pretty harsh statistic.
Hmm?
Estimates suggest that only about, 15% of the time your sales force spends on social media actually generates measurable revenue.
Yeah.
You have teams active on every platform, posting diligently, but you have to ask, are they really moving the needle?
And that's the core challenge we're tackling today. I mean,
Yeah.
social media holds this immense power to connect, to build trust, and, to drive growth.
Right.
But the source material we processed, specifically the findings from the sales experts, it shows that most high-level sales organizations are treating these channels like a hobby.
Or worse, like a simple digital
Yeah.
megaphone.
Exactly. Just shouting. And they're wasting time because they lack a real strategic focus.
So our mission in this deep dive is to perform a bit of radical surgery here. We took the 12 core rules that the sales experts laid out for maximizing social media for sales success,
Yeah.
and we've refined them. We've boiled them down into 3 powerful, actionable strategic imperatives. And these are custom designed for you. We're not talking about viral TikToks or vanity metrics.
No.
We're talking about optimizing return on investment, reducing customer acquisition costs, and generating qualified leads.
And success in this space, it really hinges entirely on focus, consistency, and genuine engagement. It requires a complete mindset shift.
Especially for veterans, right? Veterans of traditional sales.
Oh, absolutely. We're moving from the tactical, the day-to-day posting to the foundational strategy.
Okay, let's unpack this. We'll start with the first major strategic imperative, which is all about resource consolidation. Where should sales leaders focus their time and their budget for maximum effect?
We begin with this concept of strategic limitation. You mentioned teams spreading themselves too thin.
Yeah.
That's why the first crucial strategic insight, what the experts call Rule 1, is to go deep, not wide.
For any executive looking at budget allocation, this is instantly appealing. I mean, the assumption for years has been that you need to occupy every single piece of digital real estate.
Right. Be everywhere.
But the source material explicitly argues for choosing fewer platforms and mastering them rather than just diluting resources with, generic cross-posted updates.
Exactly. Dilution kills authority. When you attempt to manage 5 channels equally, you end up managing them all poorly. The experts, they cite LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, X now, and the company blog as the primary battlegrounds.
So focus there.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you can't fully resource and really dominate 2 of those, you probably shouldn't even touch the others.
But I have to push back on that strategic choice just a little. If we aren't everywhere, aren't we inherently missing leads that our competitors are catching on the platforms we abandon? I mean, what is the actual cost of that focus?
That's a fair question.
Yeah.
But the cost of focus is almost negligible compared to the cost of mediocre execution across the board. By focusing, you free up the necessary resources to execute Rule 4, which is fundamental to authority. Blog consistently.
And that's where the ROI starts to become clear.
That's where it really kicks in.
Why is the blog still so essential, though, in this age of short-form video and, constant streams of content?
Because for sales success, the blog is the anchor. It's the engine of inbound attraction. It's how you showcase deep expertise and capture traffic that is actively searching for a solution.
Not just scrolling past a 30-second ad.
Exactly. These are people with intent. And if you stop blogging your digital authority, it just begins to erode almost immediately.
And it's not just about pushing out a monthly post. There's a technical discipline required here that leaders really need to enforce. The sales experts emphasize that consistency is just non-negotiable.
Right. Quality is vital, but so is showing up regularly.
And on top of that, there are specific optimization tactics we have to follow.
Right. For those focused on optimization, this translates directly to search visibility. Rule 5, use keywords strategically is crucial. This means integrating relevant keywords naturally, across all content.
Not just stuffing them in.
No, you need high-quality content linked back to your main site or your LinkedIn profile, and keeping titles sharp under 70 characters is the benchmark the source suggests. That ensures maximum search engine optimization.
This linkage is so key. When a high-value prospect is researching a solution, you want your content to surface, not your competitors.
Of course.
So we've chosen our ground with Rule 1, we've committed to high-quality content with Rule 4, and we've optimized it with Rule 5. The final step for this strategic focus is distribution, which is summarized in Rule 12. Push content everywhere.
And this is where we connect all the dots back to ROI. You've invested time and money creating great content, you have to leverage it. Distribution using share buttons, LinkedIn groups, and submission platforms, it expands reach, which crucially builds high-quality backlinks.
Okay, and for the executive audience, explain the executive takeaway from those backlinks. Why should a sales VP really care about Google ranking?
It directly impacts your customer acquisition cost, your CAC. When your expertise surfaces at the top of organic search results, you are not paying for that click.
Ah,
Better Google ranking means higher organic traffic, which means qualified leads are coming to you, instead of you having to pay per click to chase them down. It allows that content investment to work twice as hard for your SEO and your lead funnel.
and that drives down acquisition costs dramatically over time.
Dramatically.
Okay, that's a very compelling argument for focus. So if the foundational structure and the content engine are sound, what about the internal culture required to run it? That brings us to our second strategic imperative, the mindset of engagement and building brand trust. This is, I think, the hardest psychological shift for traditional sales teams.
Absolutely. If the first imperative was about infrastructure, this one is all about integrity. If sales professionals treat social media like a simple one-way broadcast, a digital billboard, they fail. Instantly.
So we have to foster a culture of dialogue.
Dialogue, not just noise.
Exactly.
This encompasses rules 2 and 3. Rule 2 is essentially to engage, don't broadcast. And it has that great key phrase, need a friend, be a friend.
I love that line.
We're talking about moving from pushing information out to pulling conversations in.
And this requires genuine effort. It means asking insightful questions, replying to comments thoughtfully, and sharing original perspectives. Digital relationships are built incrementally, comment by comment.
Not by just dropping a link and walking away.
Never. That's the highest leverage activity in social selling, the actual conversation.
And that leads straight into the famous, or maybe infamous, Rule 3, the no sales pitch rule. For a sales professional, resisting the urge to pitch has got to be incredibly difficult.
It's so hard. But the sales experts are just adamant about this. Pushing product drives people away. It's immediate disengagement.
It is. People can spot a pitch instantly and they just tune out. Instead of constantly pushing features, sales leaders must encourage their teams to share their passion and their enthusiasm.
For the industry, for the market trends.
Yes, for the problems they solve. Because that passion, that genuine interest, it acts as a magnet. It builds confidence in your expertise, and confidence is the precursor to trust.
So clients are attracted to your knowledge and insights, which then organically leads them toward your solutions rather than being hit over the head with a pricing sheet.
Exactly. The content is the reason they stop scrolling, but the conversation is the handshake that starts the relationship.
And this professional visibility brings us to, well, the non-negotiable mandate for every single individual associated with the sales organization. Rule 6, remember, you are your brand.
So important.
Every single post, update, or interaction, even on what seems like a personal channel, is business.
That is such a critical warning for anyone in a leadership position or managing a high-profile team. We often see sales reps using their personal profiles, and that line gets really, really blurry.
So what are the concrete financial risks associated with ignoring this rule?
Well, the financial risk is, frankly, catastrophic brand damage. The source material is very stern here. Maintain absolute professionalism, keep posts positive, and avoid politics, religion, or any kind of negativity.
So let's play that out. Imagine a scenario.
Okay, so a sales leader posts a mild but divisive political comment on X, believing it's their personal space. That post is found by a multi-million-dollar prospect's internal vetting team.
And the deal is immediately compromised, possibly lost.
Exactly. The warning is crystal clear. Never post anything you wouldn't want a client to see because eventually they will see it. For a sales leader, a single negative or controversial post can undermine months or even years of relationship building.
And it damages the company's reputation by association.
It does. It forces the prospect to ask, do I want to do business with an organization that thinks this way or that allows its leaders to represent themselves this way? It's just very high-stakes reputation management.
That puts a huge premium on self-discipline and team alignment. And speaking of reputation, Rule 9, share and collaborate, ties directly back into building that trust. You can't build a network by only talking about yourself.
Right. Collaboration builds authority because it shows you're connected, you're informed, and respected within your ecosystem. Sharing high-quality content from industry peers, even competitors sometimes.
That seems counterintuitive.
It does, but it demonstrates intellectual generosity. It positions you as a node in a valuable network rather than just the sole center of your own universe. And that generosity, it translates into stronger connections and greater trust, which ultimately fuels referrals.
Okay, that covers the deep strategic focus and the necessary cultural shifts in engagement and integrity. Now let's move into the third and final imperative, the execution phase.
The how-to.
Exactly. The specific high leverage tactics sales leaders can implement right away to ensure the strategy translates from paper into actual performance.
Execution requires persistence, discipline, and intelligence.
Let's start with discipline. Rule 7 is simple, but often so difficult to maintain. Be consistent and persistent.
Yes, social media authority is not built in a sprint. It's a marathon of continuous visibility. You have to be present, visible, and engaged over time.
So if a sales exec disappears for a month because of travel or quarterly planning,
Their authority and visibility just fades, and it fades fast. The experts suggest daily activity or posting several times a week and leveraging mobile apps to stay active even on the move. They recognize the fast pace of leadership schedules.
consistency is table stakes. So now let's talk intelligence. For executive teams looking for a tangible competitive edge and, a faster ROI, we have to analyze Rule 10, exploit platform features.
This moves way beyond just posting content. It's about using the platform as a sophisticated intelligence gathering tool. Specifically, sales leaders should empower their teams to leverage tools for competitor monitoring.
And this isn't just curiosity.
Not at all, it's strategic action.
So how does that translate into a direct sales lead? Walk me through that.
Okay. So by strategically monitoring your competitors, your sales team can track the engagement on their high-value posts. Who is commenting? Who is asking questions? Those individuals are highly qualified leads who have demonstrated an active interest in a solution your industry offers.
Ah.
You turn competitor activity into an immediate qualified lead funnel. It allows for soft, targeted outreach that leverages intelligence you just wouldn't have otherwise.
That's fascinating. You're using their gravity to pull in your own leads. That's a brilliant tactical application of Rule 10.
It's incredibly powerful.
Finally, let's address the budget reality for every sales organization. The role of paid outreach. Rule 11, consider paid boosts.
This is the acknowledgement that, yes, sometimes money can be an accelerator, but, and this is a big but, it is not a primary fuel source. Paid ads or boosted posts can give critical initial traction, helping your carefully crafted content find its early audience.
What's the executive pitfall here? The danger of relying too heavily on the budget.
The danger is creating a pay-to-play culture. Sales leaders need to budget paid boosts as, say, R&D for discovery and initial visibility, not as a replacement for genuine organic relationship building.
So there's a clear rule here.
The rule is clear. You must ensure that any paid strategy is paired directly with authentic engagement. If you boost a post to get eyeballs, but you fail to respond thoughtfully to the comments you generate, you've wasted your money and you violated Rule 2. You just accelerated disappointment.
The ultimate success metric for all of these rules relies on one constant, which is Rule 8. Keep learning. This entire digital ecosystem is continuously evolving.
Oh, constantly.
Algorithms change weekly, platforms shift their features, and the businesses that fear experimentation or refuse to adapt are the ones that fall behind.
This is exactly why social selling is not a set-it-and-forget-it strategy. It's continuous improvement, embedded within the sales process. You have to constantly audit your approach against changing platform realities and, evolving audience preferences.
So what does this all mean for the sales leader listening right now, planning their next quarter?
I think the takeaway is clear. Social media is not a necessary evil or a distraction. It is one of the most powerful drivers of sales success.
But only
When you apply strategic focus, uphold brand integrity through genuine engagement, and execute with disciplined consistency. Following these 12 rules, as outlined by the sales experts, shifts social media from a chore to a cornerstone of your growth strategy.
And we've really only scratched the surface of these rules today, especially the finer points around competitor monitoring metrics and specific content planning strategies that scale across large sales teams.
To drive deeper into these strategies, to align your team, and to operationalize these steps to maximize your results this quarter and beyond, we highly encourage you to seek out the full insights and programs provided by the sales experts.
And here's a final thought for you to chew on as you adapt and keep learning. If collaboration builds authority and stronger networks, as we talked about in Rule 9, which one of your direct competitors is currently sharing high-value, non-promotional thought leadership content? Think about amplifying that content. Not only does sharing it position you as knowledgeable and connected, but it helps build a mutual professional trust that could open strategic doors down the road, which is far more valuable than any sales pitch.